Hello, my name is Taylor Renwick, and this is my reflection video for EDL 595 on the self-mentoring portion of the course. Originally, when I was thinking about self-mentoring, I realized that I don't really have a concept as to what self-mentoring was, other than just using context clues that it's mentoring of the self. I found out later through the readings and the video that I was close, but not completely correct, as I did not recognize the four-step process. I learned that self-mentoring has no time limit, unlike coaching or mentoring. It is both long-term and short-term. It's a self-directed process where the people actually mentor themselves. The individuals are responsible for knowing their strengths and weaknesses and must be confident in themselves as people and whom they want to be in their careers in order to move forward through the four levels of self-mentoring. According to Dr. Carr, on page 42 of her book, Self-Mentoring, The Invisible Leader, self-mentoring is a four-level tiered process. Each level applies the skills learned in the previous level. The levels are self-awareness, self-development, self-reflection, and self-mentoring. After gaining a better understanding of what self-mentoring is and the different levels in this process, I realized that I have not gone beyond self-awareness. Unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to formally engage in the four stages of the self-mentoring process. Again, most of my experience centralizes around stage one, self-awareness. According to Dr. Carr, self-awareness is when the person focuses on him or herself in his or her environment and uses self-mentoring activities and self-assessments to capture the culture of his or her organization. What this means is that the person starts to really understand and gain a better development of who he or she is as a person. The individual really gets to see his or her strengths and weaknesses, figure out how he or she learns best, as well as figure out what are different challenges. Dr. Carr states on page 45 of her book that you determine what strengths you use and what strengths you need to cultivate. The whole purpose of understanding your strengths and weaknesses is so that you can move forward in the self-mentoring process and ultimately become a better person and a better candidate in your profession and hopefully enhance your career. My experience has mainly been with self-awareness. Some of the things that I have done with self-awareness includes taking the StrengthsFinder 2.0 examination. The results distributed explained that I scored high in strategic, individualization, woo, achiever, and competition. Though the report showed that these are my 5 strengths, it does not mean that I lack the other strengths. It simply means that when they are ranked, these are the 5 that move to the top of my chart. I'm a very strategic thinker. I focus on people as individuals and their unique characteristics. I have an ability to influence people. I like to compete with myself in order to obtain my goals and become the best achiever that I can be. Another self-awareness assessment that I have done is the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator. As previously mentioned in my last response video, I am an extrovert, intuitive, feeling, and judging, or as people commonly call it, an ENFJ. I've also know that I'm a visual learner with a type A personality. According to the type A personality description, people with type A personalities tend to be ambitious, organized, somewhat sensitive, very truthful, impatient, and they like to be proactive and they're obsessed with time management. I'm not surprised to see that I'm a type A personality because type A personalities often are high achieving workaholics. As you'll see, that connects to my StrengthsFinders 2.0 where it says that I am an achiever and I am competitive and I like to do the best that I can be. By gaining a better understanding of who I am as an individual and what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are, I realize that I'm ready for that next step or this next level in that's called self-development. after one has mastered self-awareness, he or she is then ready for that self-development level. And I'm excited to see how I can take everything that I know about myself and apply it to self-development. I think it'll be a really good way for me to enhance my understanding of self-mentoring, as well as help me achieve some of my career goals, as well as kind of move up that ladder. And lastly, these are my references. I used Dr. Marcia Carr's book, Self Mentoring The Invisible Leader, as well as the Type A Behavior and Diagnosis and Treatment. This was an article that kind of came from the personality test that I took prior to creating this video. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening, and please let me know if you have any questions.